We'll call to order the special board meeting of the Board of Election Commissioners for the City of Chicago. Today is March 1st, 2016. Good morning. My name is Marisol Hernandez. I'm the chairman. Seated to my left is Commissioner Jonathan Swain, and to my right is Commissioner William Cressy. The next item on the agenda is the consideration of the agenda. Are there any changes, additions, deletions? If not, we'll proceed to the approval of the minutes for the regular board meeting of February 23rd, 2016. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Minutes are approved. Next item is the Executive Director's report. Mr. Goff?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Just to let the board members give a report on yesterday. Yesterday was a busy day. Charles Holliday, two schools, Dunbar and Hope High School, came to the office to register some of their kids. And I don't want to call them kids, they were young adults, and they were really nice. They really were interested in getting this done. We had 75 of them. And just to let you know of the number of people that have taken advantage of grace period registration, if you look at the totals, the number of new registrations and changes, it's not that many that are being taken at the early voting sites. If you look at the numbers, you know, you have 17, 18, but the numbers aren't really huge. So I think we may dodge a bullet on new registrations, just to let everybody know. EV stations, we had a couple of problems with EV. The B library did not open on time. This is something that we've been having a problem with. We spoke to the library board and a couple other people. Hope we can finally resolve this. This was the same library that I had the alderman call me up and says, you know, they don't open on time. So I went there, she went there, and then on Monday they didn't open on time. So evidently they're not listening to anybody, but I spoke to the folks down at the main library, and they said that would not happen again. So I wanted the board members to be aware of that. Another thing with EV, we did a great number yesterday. We did over 11,000. And I think that was a huge turnout for the first day. You know, we usually see 10 or 11,000 the last several days of EV, but to have it at the first day, a lot of the campaigns were trying to get their people in and out right away. So it was interesting. And it was, the first day is when your people are brand new. And I just asked Peter, out of the 300, we lost about 98, so we had 98 new people out at these early voting sites. So it takes them a day to get into the rhythm. But I just want to let you know, I think it's going to work out well. I know Commissioner Swain, you went out and voted yesterday.
I did, on the 4th Ward. Things went well.
We like to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
We did have one problem with one of our employees at an EV station. He was giving out, he was electioneering, so we had him removed right away. That was in the 25th Ward. But everything seems to go very well by that. The other item is we have our intelligent mail barcode. According to our report, it shows that there's 2,500 that have been scanned. We only got a couple in, so we contacted the main post office, spoke to a supervisor. They're working on it. Hopefully that'll get resolved today. That's with our business reply mail. And some not so good news. We still have vacancies. I hope to have these 15 vacancies taken care of by Wednesday. I was going to be working on those yesterday, but because of some of the issues with early voting, we just did not get around to it. But I want to let everybody know we should have those done in the next day or two, the 15 vacancies.
Is there anything you need from us to help with this, or is everything?
If I don't have it done by Wednesday, we all make phone calls. So.
Okay.
That's what I want to say.
Just to put it in perspective, how many polling places do we have in the city of Chicago again?
2,069 precincts.
Precincts.
Yeah.
2,069 precincts, and we have 15 vacancies.
Yes.
Yeah, just to put that in perspective, that's pretty good.
Yes, looking at the numbers, yes, but just to let you know, I have to get notices out to all these voters, and I have to start, putting out signs, so it is a big job, but I think it's something that's manageable, and we will take care of it. And thank you for putting that in, because I was freaking out about it, but thank you, I feel a lot better. We seem to be going well. I have to tell board members, all your staff, people that are doing vote by mail. I'm getting calls from people all over saying that their ballots have been returned to them faster than they've ever had it in the past. I had one campaign said they dropped off applications and it was returned in 2 days. That's incredible.
Good.
So I just want to say that staff's doing very well.
Is that the registration department?
Vote by mail.
Vote by mail.
Vote by
department.
mail, yeah.
That's
Steve
great.
Sislicki is in charge of that. He's doing a really good job. He's on top of it. As you know, I said Charles Holliday with the grace period registration's doing very well. He's doing great, I should say. EV, the staff in the other room outside the hallway, that's where EV Central is. They're on top of it. They really are. And that's going very well. So, with the little hiccups here and there, I think staff's doing an excellent job, and I wanted to let the board members know that.
We appreciate it, because without them.
Exactly.
Exactly. Anything else, Mr. Combs?
Nope, that's it for me.
Ms. Bateman?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am proud to say that my ward early voting site had the second highest number yesterday, except for here. I've never been there, I always really vote here, but I'm happy to say that it had the second largest. So, Mr. Goff mentioned the early voting numbers. I will do judges of election. Currently, on the Democratic side, we have 770 vacancies. On the Republican side, 1,683 vacancies, but every precinct has at least, or very small have less than 3. So that's what we work towards, is to get, we want at least 3, obviously 5. High school students, we have 1,065, and college students 560. So as far as judges vacancies, we're doing very well. We talked about polling places. The warehouse is doing an incredible job with pre-lat. The voting equipment pre-lat, which is the ballot scanner, touch screen, and card activator, should finish up by midweek. Some of the ESCs left yesterday. A total of 85 ESCs left the warehouse yesterday, so that's moving. Pre-lat on the e-poll books started on Saturday, and that is moving along fantastic. The IT department is doing a fantastic job on creating the cartridges and getting them out to the warehouse. So everything's moving. 2 weeks from today, everything's moving along, which is good. Election Central, we have what we need for this room as far as phone operators. Mr. Scanlon, thank you for all the attorneys that will be here. We have our Election Central meeting on Sunday, March 13th, starting at 9:45. And other than that, we're moving along. All's good.
Great.
Thank you. Mr. Allen?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, for the news conference yesterday. It's nice that Del Sterling was there to make sure that we had a smooth start. Museum Broadcast Communications. The county clerk was ill, was unable to attend, but you did a fabulous job, and the numbers seem to reflect that we got a little bit of coverage. That and the mailing hit at the right time.
Yep.
I think the mass mailing so far has gone really well. We've received feedback from voters, which is good because it's a canvas mailing. So some cleanup work with people who have recently deceased relatives or someone who's moved. It's also waking up voters. They're finding that their registration is outdated, and we're able to give them information about grace period registration. Vote by mail online applications have popped. They started, as soon as the mailing started hitting, they went from about 200 a day to well over 1,000 a day. So that obviously correlates, and it was every day, including Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so it's been consistent. And it's rising each day. And as Lance mentioned, John Powell and the other people from election support, they're fielding all kinds of calls there on early voting, and everything's been going smoothly. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
I have one comment. So one of my friends received a mailing yesterday, and she said, yes, she says, there's this new program called Vote by Mail. She goes, and I decided to do it. And I said, well, it used to be called absentee, so it's not new, and you've done it before, but, you know, I don't know. She's like, I went online, filled out the application, I'm gonna get a ballot in the mail.
Yeah.
I'm glad you utilized it.
Yeah, I've noticed and it's not your fault, the press is still getting a little confused on absentee, vote by mail, and the idea that, you know, in the past, vote absentee, you had to have some reason to vote absentee, and now you don't need it to either vote by mail or early voting. I saw one where a news outlet was saying that in all of Cook County, you can go to any early voting site to vote. And it depends if you're in the city or in suburban, and I went straight ahead and tried straightening them out myself, if that was okay, but just be aware that there's still some confusion amongst the media as to some of our changes. But my wife and I both received our mailers in the mail, and because sometimes our mail gets a little iffy, but we got it, and it looks good.
Good. Great to hear. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is old business. I don't think we have any discussion regarding infrastructure projects at this time. And I believe we've discussed electronic poll books, as well as voting equipment. Mr. Scanlon, is there anything new with regards to legislation?
Just that I did send around a report updating the status of legislation, and excuse me.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to draft something on the vote center legislation in the next couple of days.
Okay.
Sorry. The, well, I was going to jump ahead to the legal report, but I'll hold that.
I'll
My
just
tongue.
go through,
Okay.
is there any new business? I don't believe so. So now we'll go into the legal report, Mr. Scanlon.
It was leap year yesterday, so he left, right?
That's right.
I'm relatively confident that the Chicago board is done with all of its ballot access litigation. Although there theoretically the possibility of further appeals, I have not heard anything with respect to the parties expressing any indication or intent to appeal. So I think that we're finished with all the litigation from our decisions as an electoral board. There are two decisions still out there on the Cook County Office of Electoral Board and one on the state board side. State board decision with respect to Ted Cruz and the allegation concerning whether he's a natural born citizen is up on a motion to dismiss today in front of Judge Kirby in the Circuit Court of Cook County. So we hope to have a decision on that today. Candidate for Democratic nomination for Recorder of Deeds is up to be heard in a motion to dismiss in federal court today. And then we have an appeal in the Illinois Appellate Court on the candidate James Seal for Water Reclamation District, and that the first round, the appellant briefs are due today. The appellee briefs are not due until a week from today. So that's the last of the litigation.
Okay,
So I will keep you apprised of any new developments as I hear them.
okay, thank you. And I just want to express our appreciation and gratitude for, all the work you did this cycle. And our decisions were affirmed, basically.
Took a little doing. But ultimately,
I never said
justice
it
prevailed.
would be easy, but Jim, it's just as always, you do an excellent job, and we so appreciate, everything you do.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
If I could ask one question, of the 3 remaining cases that are still pending, and are these cases where the candidates are currently on our ballots, so that
Well, Ted Cruz is on our ballot. James Seo, who is the candidate for Democratic nomination for Water Reclamation District, is on the ballot. So it's the objectors who are pursuing the appeal. And Kowalski, who is a candidate for Recorder of Deeds, is off the ballot. Now, the appellate court has already affirmed, the Illinois appellate court has already affirmed the decision of the county officers electoral board. But this is in federal court, and I'm hopeful and relatively confident that federal court will dismiss that charge. So I don't think there's going to be any change.
Okay. I don't believe there is a financial report today. So the next item on the agenda is public comment. I did not receive any public comment forms, and I don't see anyone here who's indicated that they would like to comment. Is there a need for executive session?
No, there is
No.
not.
Okay. If there is no need for executive session, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved, and we will adjourn until our next regular board
March 8th.
meeting on March 8th at 9 o'clock. Okay? And meeting adjourned.
Thank you.